Remember that joy is a choice, and it's one that cannot be taken away from us. We can only give it away. My name is Vernon Gordon, and I'm the lead pastor of the Life Church RVA right here in Richmond, Virginia. I was a childhood cancer patient, and I was diagnosed at 10 years old with osteogenic sarcoma, a very aggressive form of bone cancer. I had 2 tumors, 13 surgeries, 3 years of chemotherapy. It told me I would die 3 times. And the reality of it was I had surgery almost every year from 10 to 22, making elementary school, middle school, and even high school a very uncertain experience. I asked God a lot of big questions, and it took a lot of courage, and it took a lot of faith, and it took a lot of support. But there were 3 things I really learned about myself as I was navigating those big questions and that challenging time in my life. Number 1, there was a lot of stuff that cancer could take, but there was a lot of things that it couldn't. And I had to learn to focus on what cancer or the challenge of my life at that time could not take. My smile, my laughter, my joy, the meaningful relationships around me, to focus on those things. Number 2, I had to learn that joy was a choice, not a result. That it wasn't contingent upon what happened or what a doctor said or what someone did, but it was a choice that I made when I woke up and breathed air into my lungs, that today will be a day where I see the best moments possible and not just the worst. And then finally, I had to learn that faith is not the absence of fear, but rather it is bringing God along to the fight with me. There were many fights along those journeys, but as long as I had God in the passenger seat with me, there was no ride I wasn't willing to take. You know, there were absolutely moments when I doubted God in the midst of these difficult times. I think it's important that we recognize that God is big enough for our honesty and our truth and our emotions. And I think even today, no matter what challenge you're going through, no matter what story you're navigating and writing in your own life, know that God is big enough to handle your questions. And He may not always answer fast, but I promise you on the other side of the journey, He always leaves us whole. So my encouragement to you is, know that God will meet you in the journey. He's with you, and that He's not afraid of where you really are. I think one of the greatest examples of this that I was able to see in my life was in a New York airport one time. You know, I saw a young man who looked like he was navigating some of the same medical challenges that I had years prior. I began to engage in a conversation with him in this airport pizza line, and his name was Jordan. After about 35 to 40 minutes of conversation and laughter and encouragement, I had an opportunity to meet his father, and his father was Tony Dungy, the Super Bowl winning coach. And as I began to know the Dungy family, we began to share stories with one another, and we began to realize that faith is not a respecter of persons that we need to fight all of our battles. So I encourage you, as you go through your own challenges, don't forget that faith is not the absence of fear, but rather it is connecting with like-minded people and finding those people around you who say, no, as long as we bring God to the fight with us, there's no battle we can't win.